Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird, the Blackbird Grimoire. Welcome to the daily forecast for Monday, October 14th, 2024. It is the 23rd of Libra and the day of the werewolf. For our astrology, the sun is in Libra, cardinal air, representing justice. The moon is second quarter Pisces, mutable water, representing intuition. Mercury is in Scorpio, fixed water, representing spirituality. Venus is in Scorpio, fixed water, representing passion. Mars is in Cancer, cardinal water, representing seeking security. Jupiter is retrograding in Gemini, mutable air, which is to broaden perspective. Saturn is retrograding in Pisces, mutable water, which is to redefine dreams. And Uranus is retrograding in Taurus, fixed earth, representing rebellion. Neptune is retrograding in Pisces, mutable water, representing spiritual awakenings. And Pluto is in Capricorn, cardinal earth, representing reconstruction. For our retrograde reminders, for Jupiter, it's about reconnecting with your true path. For Saturn, it's about reclaiming your authority. For Uranus, reconsider how you rebel. For Neptune, reclaim your magic. For Chiron, restore the heroic spirit. Ooh, and speaking of the heroic spirit, husband unit just arrived. And he brought me a super coffee with caramel because he loves me. Oh, that is lovely. Right. Now then, back to the business at hand. For our moon phase, we have a waxing gibbous, which means it is time to commit to goals. We have a Pisces moon, so the do's are compassion, meditation, and charity. The don'ts are unwise alliances, too much socializing, and one dimensionality. So we have a Pisces moon today, and that enhances intuition, and the waxing moon is enabling energy to grow. And because of this, it's often focused outwards. I mean, you might be personally working on personal inward growth, but something about this it just kept popping into my head that the energy is going outward. It's about growing outside of ourselves. So stretch out your intuitive senses to better perceive what's going on in the world around you and what's going on with the people around you, because today might be the day when you receive an unexpected nudge about what's to come, or to get a sense of something that's been lurking under the surface that hasn't quite come into active play, but it's about to. So if you do get that nudge, definitely pay attention to it today. Our tarot for the day is the Sun. It's a major arcana card, so think far reaching impact. It's numbered 19 in the tarot, so numerologically, you do 1 plus 9, that equals 10, then 1 plus 0 equals 1. And of course, that brings us to the idea of this card representing the essence of the thing. So this is the essence of all of the sun, that the Sun is. And the keywords for this are success, purity of spirit, a good partnership and or marriage, and good fortune just generally. And even though this card has, spookier surroundings, it definitely still does have that vibe that all is well, things have gone exactly as they should. And because it's pictured more so as, this sun somewhat appearing in more underworld-like conditions, it's saying that, even in that, the sun, what it means and what it represents, that kind of renewal, it's still reaching down into those depths, which is something that is consistent with other teachings, particularly within witchcraft. Um, the idea of the grave being both the tomb and the womb, because yes, life that has passed its corporeal time, it does go back to the soil. It is going back to that tomb, but as it disintegrates, it's feeding life back into that soil, and it is from that soil, figuratively and literally, that new life emerges. So this is showing, at least in my mind, an interesting way station point of that particular process. It's not how we usually look at the sun card, but it's what the image is communicating to me. So think about what you are nurturing, what you can take from the past, whether it's past lessons or anything else, but what you can draw upon around you. What can you breathe new light on? What can you shine the light onto? And how can you feed into that renewal? Now for today's Celtic Triad. That caramel coffee really is good. There are 3 things which keep order and system for everything in the world: number, weight, and measure. Our ancestors were no strangers to the need to accurately quantify things. I mean, as soon as I mean, as soon as we had any kind of trade, I mean, that is, we had an immediate need for accurate units of measurement, which is all that's what it is. Whether it's unit measurements for cooking or surveying a piece of land or determining what a fair trade, the product or the service for a certain amount of coin, whatever that is, objectivity as much as what's possible and consistency really is required. And the more this has become accurate, having this kind of order helps solve and even evade problems and controversies. As long as we're not getting artificial ideological interferences in how the economy of things would naturally work and unfold. Now, we are suffering under the impact of that artificial interference. However, if things were left on balance and things were simply allowed to function in a sensible way, we would get something that's on a bit more of an even keel. Now, for today's magical correspondences, they are about dream work. For this, the color is silver, the plant is the juniper, the animal is the seal, and the crystal is smoky quartz. The veil is thin, and it's getting thinner every single day this month. You may be experiencing encounters with other beings or even departed loved ones more regularly. I know in my own dreams, some of my relatives who have shed the mortal coil, they have appeared. Um, I haven't really figured out the nature of why they're appearing, what the message is, what the purpose of all of it is. But it is happening for a reason. So if you're experiencing that as well, don't be startled by it. This is all perfectly normal. This is part of the normal, usual, expected cycle. It is okay. The challenge is more so to figure out what the issue is, what the deal is, and decide what to do about it once you do uncover that. So definitely pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to what's coming up in your meditations, especially if they're path working meditations. Pay attention to the symbolism. It is communicating something important at this time, so make the most when everything is a little bit more heightened. Then for today's practices, we have dream work. What do you observe as werewolf-like in society? Something that seems civilized and normal on the outside, but the full moon comes out, or there's provocation of other kind, and then you have an unregulated beast within. Where do you see that sort of thing? Because I bet you can think of a ton of examples. How can you cultivate lunar energy? How can the world benefit from lunar wisdom? And it's Monday, so it's time for the relaxing evening. Read a spiritual book, even if it's one you've already read in previous times. Sometimes it's good to go back and read books that we've already read before with our spirituality, because sometimes the information or the way the author expresses it just hits us differently, and it can stimulate our thought process, and that can stimulate our meditations, and it has this nice ripple effect. Then for our journal, what duties do you think a goddess of the dead is called upon to perform? For our picture, we have the goddess Hel, and just what do you think it's like? What do you think a day in her existence is really like? What do you think? What would the routine be? And again, this is all part of the effort of trying to put ourselves in their shoes for the purpose of better understanding their mythological roles and even their very literal roles. And that this can, if you're really working on forging relationships with deities, or at least having a better understanding of what they are, this is one technique you can use in service of that goal. So, on that note, I wish you a magical and delightfully spooky day. Have a fantastic one, everyone. Let me know what you thought of all of the information today in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.